The topic is trigonometric integrals. So let's do this example. Evaluate the integral of cosine to the 8th of x times sine to the 5th of x dx. So the integral has this form. Integral of sine m of x, cosine n of x. So what is m and what is n? So by looking at this, I can tell the m is 5, right? And the n is 8, right? So which one is odd? Of course the m is odd. So if you look here, it says if m is odd, isolate one sine of x. So we need to isolate one sine of x. So let's call this 1. This integral we're trying to evaluate, we're calling it 1. So all I'm gonna do, this is gonna be cosine 8 of x. I'm gonna isolate one sine, so this becomes sine 4 times of x, of course, times sine of x dx. The reason why we do this, so we can keep this for the du, right? So now what we do, now we want, well, and then there's another trick, you want all this stuff to be just functions of cosines, because we're going to use u to be cosine of x. This is what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to use u equal cosine of x. Therefore, du will be minus sine of x dx. So how do we do that? If you look at to replace sine for x by cosines, just think of this formula: sine square of x is equal to 1 minus cosine square. So what I do, 1 equal, I'm gonna write, that's the same thing as sine square squared. Let me do it in 2 steps. Sine squared squared. Now let me go back here. Now sine squared, I'm going to use this formula, is just 1 minus cosine squared. So 1 minus cosine squared, and don't forget this 2. This 2 comes from here, times sine of x dx. Now all I have, now you want to use this for du, but remember we need this minus sign. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply by minus sign and multiply negative outside so they can cancel each other. Now 1 will be equal to minus. Now I'm going to replace cosine x by u right there. So this will be u to the 8 factor of 1 minus cosine replaced also by u. This will be u squared, everything squared, and this is just du. Alright, now from here it's going to be easy. We're going to be using this formula for the integral. So what do we do? I'm going to distribute, before we distribute we need to FOIL. So if you FOIL this, a minus b squared will be 1 squared, which is 1, minus 2 times 1 times u squared, which is 2u squared, plus u squared squared, which is u fourth. Just a shortcut, I'm using this identity: a minus b squared is equal a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Right, the quickest way to follow that one. Now I'm going to distribute u8. This will be u8 minus 2u10 plus u12 du. Last, I'm going to distribute the negative. So this will be minus u8 plus 2u10 minus u12 du. And from here it'll be easy. So this is going to be negative u8 plus 1 is 9 over 9 plus 2u 10 plus 1 is 11 over 11 minus u 12 plus 1 is 13 over 13 plus c. Now we replace back. The u happens to be just cosine of x. So this is going to be equal minus cosine to the 9th of x over 9 plus 2 cosine 11th of x over 11 minus cosine to the 13 of x over 13 plus c, and I'm done.